All right, welcome to the training. So today we're talking, Christine, self-compassion. So this one's always a good topic. So, a lot of us are so hard on ourselves. So with losing weight and improving your health and achieving basically any life goal, got some more people jumping on. Um, all right, sorry. Um, what's up, guys? So self-compassion, basically what it means is just treating yourself with the same kindness and care and understanding that you would offer to a loved one, a friend, a family member. So it's the opposite of self-criticism, which will lead to guilt, shame. So self-compassion is about acknowledging your struggles without judgment and using them as an opportunity for growth. So I think that's the most important thing is learning from your mistakes, which we're going to talk more about. All right. So three things on like why self-compassion matters. This is way more than three. I just kind of consolidated this so we can get the training in within a 15, 20-minute time frame. But I just got back from a mindset coaching, business coaching, um, up in Las Vegas. It was a one-day conference. And I mean, I know how important mindset is, but hearing like top, entrepreneurs in the world, it's how we speak to ourselves is absolutely everything. And these guys, they vibrate at a different frequency. All right. So they do that by self-gratitude, by being compassionate. And compassionate doesn't mean like let yourself off the hook, right? It's acknowledging what's going on and then learning from it. How do we make changes from there? So it self-compassion breaks the cycle of guilt, right? So self-criticism, it leads to why even try? Right? That mentality. And self-compassion interrupts the cycle by reminding you that mistakes are normal. Like it's part of growth. And the only way to get to success is to fail and learn, fail and learn. All right. Or succeed and learn, however you want to look at it. But basically, you're learning from your mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, these guys talked about all the mistakes they've made, and they've made so many. But the difference is they keep going. And a lot of us just stop, right? You have a bad meal and it's life's coming to an end, like the world's coming to an end. It's like a bad meal. It's no big deal. Just keep going. It's got to increase resilience. So that's number two. Like I just said, life full of setbacks. Like we're gonna have them over and over and over. Self-compassion, it gives you the strength to bounce back instead of staying stuck. It's okay to have bad days, guys. Just be gentle on yourself, but learn from why you had a bad day and so it doesn't happen as frequency or it doesn't happen again. So improving your relationship with yourself. When you speak kindly to yourself, it just fosters a healthier, more supportive dialogue in your brain. And that's huge. How you speak to yourself is everything. For those of you guys know Tony Robbins, he says, change your language, change your life. It's so true. It's like one of the best quotes I've ever heard. And when our clients start changing their language and how they think about things, that's where the results come in. All right. So common myths about self-compassion, three of them. It's self-indulgent. Self-compassion is not about letting yourself off the hook, like I said earlier. It's about acknowledging where you can improve while treating yourself kindly in the process. Myth number two, it's a weakness. Being kind to yourself takes strength, especially like our world and social media and all this crap. It glorifies perfection, right? Which doesn't exist. If you're shooting for perfection, you're never going to get there. Never ever going to get there because it doesn't exist. So just one step at a time. Just keep moving forward. It leads to complacency. It's the it's the contrary of that. Self-compassion motivates you to keep going because it removes the fear of failure. If you're self-compassionate with yourself, You know you're going to have mistakes. You know you're not going to be perfect, but you're going to keep going. So how do we practice self-compassion? A lot of different ways. I got everything in threes today. So three ways to start practicing self-compassion. Treat yourself like a friend. So think of a time where your best friend was struggling. And how did you respond to them? Or did you criticize them, tell them they were dumb, stupid, whatever it is? Or did you offer support? So the next time you catch yourself saying, whatever, I can't believe I did that, try something like, I had a tough day, but I'm still learning and growing. So how you reframe things and how you think of things are super important. Embrace perfection, guys. Sorry, embrace imperfection. Don't embrace perfection. Embrace progress. Embrace moving forward little increments at a time. Imperfection or imperfect action is going to get you to your results. No action is going to get you nowhere. So if you're waiting for the perfect time or whatever, a perfect opportunity, it's never going to happen. Create your own opportunities and just start today. All right. So the best time to start anything was, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. The next best time is now. So nobody's perfect. When you expect perfection, naturally you're setting yourself up for disaster, right? For disappointment. So instead, celebrate the progress over the perfection. And like I said, all these small steps will equal big results over time. So use setbacks as a learning opportunity. Instead of focus on what went wrong, ask yourself what you can learn from that opportunity. Think of it as an opportunity. For example, so let's say you skipped a workout or you overeat. Think of or reflect on the triggers. So this is where journaling is powerful, guys. Were you tired? Were you stressed? Were you overwhelmed? Use the information so you can plan ahead and make sure, like I said, it doesn't happen the next time or happens less frequency. So for me, when I'm tired, I make poor choices with my eating. So I know that. So sleep is so important to me because when I don't sleep, I make poor decisions. For whatever reason. That's how I currently am. Working to change that. But I sleep well and I sleep a lot, so that doesn't happen. But like being in Las Vegas, the time change, um, kind of off your routine, definitely eating things that I normally wouldn't eat in my diet. All right. But I'm not like upset about it. It's just it's life. My breakfast was the same. My lunch was pretty similar, but my dinners were way off. All right. No big deal. Like I don't even, there's nothing to learn from because it doesn't bother me. It's 3, 4 days. It's not going to change my journey. Right. So 3, 4, 5 bad meals at night is like, it's not going to put on weight. It's impossible. You put on fat over weeks and months of bad habits. That's like what the thing people stop over. I had a bad meal. It's over. Freaking bad meal. It's no big deal. Like a bad meal doesn't make you fat. A good meal doesn't make you skinny, right? So it's the same thing. But many good meals will get you to lose weight. Many bad meals will get you to put on weight. So we're looking at habits. 80, 90% of the time, you're doing the right things for your health. So exercises for self-compassion. Guess how many I got? You got it. 3. You guys are good. All right. So a self-compassion letter. This is pretty cool. So you're writing yourself a letter as if you're speaking to a friend about your struggles. So whatever struggles you're having, you're going to write a letter, but pretend you're talking to your friend. You'll include obviously encouragement, understanding. Number 2, pause and breathe. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, there's a million different breathing patterns out there, guys. But just, even just 3 deep breaths um, will help you relax. All right. With each exhale or inhale, remind yourself, I am enough. We're going to talk a little bit about affirmations in a second, the next one here. But I want to, guys, Google like deep breathing exercises. These are things you can do anywhere. So when I'm driving, I do deep breathing. Um, I'm sitting watching TV. I'm doing deep breathing. Like you can do it anywhere. It's so cool, and it just relaxes you. It brings down that fight or flight. So the breathing pattern I use a lot is called 4-7-8. And basically what it is, they have 4-4-4. They have all different kinds. Um, I don't know if one's better than the other. It's just what I use. As long as you're doing deep breathing. And when you do deep breathing, it's not through your diaphragm, it's through your belly. All right. So big difference. Most people breathe wrong. We breathe right when we're babies, and then as we get older, we get lazy and we breathe wrong. All right. So if you're taking deep breaths through your chest, do some Googling. It's not the proper way to breathe. All right. Belly breathe. So basically, you're filling up your belly. So the 4-7-8, 4 seconds in. All right. Hold it for 7 seconds and then slowly release for 8 seconds. So that's what the 4-7. So four is four to get a full, get your belly full, and then hold it for 7 seconds, and then release through the nose. I'm sorry, through the mouth for 8 seconds. All right, so it's a real slow release and make sure all the air empties out. All right, daily affirmations. These are so powerful. All right, our brain believes what we're telling it. All right. So if we're telling it negative things, it's going to believe negative things. If you're telling it positive things, even if you really don't believe it yet, it's going to believe it over time. It'll eventually just wire into our subconscious without us even knowing. All right. So I'm gonna read to you. Let me just find them. The daily affirmations that we have in our VIP program. And if you need these, I can certainly send them to you. Oh, I got so many documents open. All right, here we go. So we have 10. And if you want to write these down, or like I said, I can send them to you. You can pick one, you can say them all. Um, I say 3 daily affirmations in the morning, every morning. One of them is about gratitude. If you guys are, you know, practicing gratitude and things that are you appreciate, like waking up in the morning, guys, you should be happy you woke up. Right? A lot of people don't wake up. So it sounds so simple, but like when I wake up in the morning, I'm ready to go. I'm gracious. I woke up, my eyes open. I'm freaking breathing. Let's go. Game on. Who can I help? What lives can I help change? That's my motivation every day. So here's some. I am lovable. I am valuable. I am enough. Number 2, I have the power to control my thoughts. I am confident I can achieve any goal. I am releasing self-judgment and embracing self-love. I am at peace with my past. I am resilient, strong, and brave. I choose to be appreciative right now. By being myself, I bring happiness to others. I am letting go of all that no longer serves me. And then number 10 is I am a life warrior. That's that program. So you can pick one, you can say them all. You can Google affirmations, you can create your own. Like there's no rules or right or wrong ways. You're just practicing changing your language patterns. And if you tell yourself that you're valuable and you're enough and you're worthy over and over every morning and night, 2 times a day for whatever, everybody's different, for the next month, 6 months, whatever it is, eventually your brain's going to believe that. It's going to get ingrained in your subconscious. And it literally will change your whole world. Okay. These are things that nobody talks about, right? Weight loss is about food and exercise. And of course, those things are important. But if you don't change your mindset and change your brain chemistry, you'll lose the weight and you'll put the weight back on. And that's not the goal of this whole process. All right. All right. What else we got here? And then we'll open up for question and answers. Actually, there's some questions in the group that I'll go over as well. But kind of let's put all this into a weight loss or health context. So let's just imagine you had a rough week. You either skipped some workouts, or you didn't stick to your meal plan. Instead of spiraling into self-criticism, try this. So acknowledge the facts. So the week didn't go as planned. You missed some workouts or you didn't eat as well as you'd like. Okay. Then speak kindly to yourself. I had a lot on my plate. Missing workouts doesn't define my worth or mean I can't succeed. And having a lot on your plate too, like it's okay, but like still learn from that. So that's the last step. So make a plan. What can I do differently next week? If you know you got a lot on your plate, then we need to plan better, right? Schedule shorter workouts. Maybe they're 5-minute workouts just for a week to get through. or focus on just one healthy meal if you had an off week, just have a great breakfast. Like focus on one thing that you can improve upon. And if you're constantly doing this over and over, guys, it multiplies. It's like compound interest. So when you put money in a 401k, you're not looking for to retire tomorrow. You're looking for that to build over time. Think about that with your health. Keep putting in these deposits of good, things that you're doing for your body, and they're gonna accumulate over time, just like your 401k. It's the same exact process. But for whatever reason, with our health and weight loss, we want instant results. You don't put $100 in your 401k and expect 5,000 tomorrow. If you do, then you know you're you're a little optimistic. But slow down, build that foundation, give yourself the okay to be imperfect. All right, so self-compassion. This isn't about making excuses and creating an environment where you can. It's about creating an environment where you can thrive, right? So I can't emphasize enough just doing small things over time. And that's another thing that was, same in business, right? You don't just build a company to, whatever, $100 million company. Like Elon Musk. You look back at his businesses, they've been around for 20, 25 years. They're just popular now, and we think, oh, he's a genius. Well, he is a genius, but like it took him a long time to get there. He's 50 something years old. Like he didn't just come out of the womb and at 21 years old become a billionaire, right? It took him a long time to build these skills. Same thing with your health. It takes time. The people who have the most patience are the ones that win in anything in life. Patience wins the game. If you have no patience, which is something I struggle with, but I've gotten tremendously better, and I'm going to continue to improve, is just delaying self-gratification, like delaying the process, right? Just doing it right instead of taking shortcuts and hacks and all these different things. Build your damn foundation so that you never have to worry about this again. Then you'll have something else to worry about. And you deal with that. But like, let's get the weight loss off the table. Let's learn how to do it. Let's lose the weight and let's keep it off. It's pretty simple process. It's actually a very simple process. And simple doesn't mean hard. I mean, doesn't mean easy. Simple means it's simple. You're just doing the basic things, but it takes time, all right? So if you wanted some homework, you could, let's see, write one thing that you're going to practice this week for self-compassion. So write down one thing. When you write it down, it's more powerful than just having it float around in your brain. Read it every morning. Could be speaking kindly to yourself. Could be scheduling some rest time for yourself. Or like reflecting back on your progress is kind of like a missed, like people don't, this is one thing I fall back onto a lot. Like if I have a bad day with whatever it is, like I think like 10 years ago or 5 years ago, what would that of bad day look like? And it's always a hell of a lot worse. So that means you're making progress. Like you don't want to be the same person you were last year. So like this year, when the year is over, you don't want to be the same person as you were in 2020, 24. Right? Going into 2026, you don't want to be the same person you are in 2025. Every year, you should be recreating yourself, getting better at whatever it is. All right. So, any questions? And then I'm going to go to the questions that were in the school community that people asked. You can come off mute, you can drop them in the chat. Actually, let me look at the chat. Getting enough sleep has been a struggle for me on my journey. So, you can reframe that, Amy. It's So when you're telling your brain it's a struggle, it's going to be a struggle. So maybe I haven't mastered sleep yet. Yet implies to your brain that it's going to happen. You just have to figure it out. All right. Changing your mind changes your journey. Yes. Patience and persistence is key. And persistence and discipline. And I can't emphasize how important discipline is. Like, do this shit even if you don't want to do it. Just do it. All right, let me go into community here. There was one on cardio, I remember. By the way, Vegas was freaking pretty cool. First time we've been there. Oh my God, there's a lot of posts in here. I've been slacking. God, I can't even find it. There's so many posts in here. All right, here we go. I got it. All right, so how much cardio is good for weight loss along with strength training? So strength training ideally is 3, 4 times a week. But again, we're always looking to get better. So if you're doing 0 days of strength training, start with one. If you're doing one, get to two. If you're doing three, get to four. So you get the picture. But if you're doing four, you don't need to get to 5, 6, 7. Like your body needs time to rest. So 2 to 4, I'd say two minimum over time and four maximum over time. All right. And they don't have to be long. I work out literally a half hour, 4 days a week. That's it. And that maintains, and that's all I'm looking for right now. I'm not looking to be any superhero or anything. Just I want to maintain my health. Our main focus is improving mobility. So actually out of that half hour, 10 minutes of it is actually mobility work. The other 20 is strength training. All right, I walk every day. So cardio, everybody has a different definition of cardio. If your cardio is walking, it's not true cardio, but people use that as cardio. Then you can walk every day, 7 days a week. You can walk 2 times a day, 5 times a day. You can't overwalk. Our bodies are designed to walk. Cavemen walked 30, 40,000 steps a day, right? And we're like, woo, we hit 10,000. Like, if you look back, like 10,000 is actually nothing compared to what we should be doing. But anyway, you can walk as much as you want. Cardio depends on really what your goals are. So if your goal is weight loss, cardio is not your best option. Okay. Cardio is burning muscle. It's it's messing, especially in the phases most of you going through or are postmenopausal. It's putting too much stress on your body. All right. So again, if you love it and like you're a runner and it gives you a high and like you don't want to take those things away, maybe it's you back off a little bit or you do one less day. If you're doing 3 days, you do 2 days. Again, just making progress, but there's no like rules on how often you should do cardio. I very rarely, I actually need to start, I'm going to start doing like a day or two of not super, super crazy cardio. Yeah, but Christiane, so here's the thing, Christiane, you're not looking to lose weight anymore. You're at your goal. I know you want to lose like a pound or two, but you're pretty much at your goal. So now running is going to help maintain it for you, but you still want to keep up the strength training because that's going to maintain your muscle mass. You don't want to burn your muscle. All right. Muscle is the key to longevity. All right. So, but if you're trying to lose weight, cardio is not your best option. So if you're doing like 4 or 5 days of cardio, cut it back and replace it with strength training. I need to do strength training. Yes, you do. If you're not doing strength training, talk to your coach and let's get that rocking. Again, 1 day a week to start, then 2 days a week. All right, let me see what other questions are in here. Oops. Can't wait for the training, Michelle. I'm glad you're on. Is there a way to know my ideal body weight should be? Is it more of an ideal body fat? Yeah, I like looking at body fat percentage. That's just preference. Doctors are going to look at a chart and they're going to go, hey, your BMI is whatever, you're obese or you're overweight. Or so like I know people that are like jacked, they're chiseled and they're considered obese because on a BMI because BMI doesn't factor in muscle mass. So BMI really sucks. I wouldn't ever advise you to look at that. Ideal weight to me in body fat is like you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, I look good. Like that's your ideal body fat. When you're happy with yourself, and but health reasons, like for women, I mean, 18 is really lean. Um, you don't want to go too low because it'll mess with menstrual cycles. But I'd shoot for under 25% body fat for real healthy ranges. And then weight, like weight, I don't really look at weight, so body fat percent, but you don't want, I mean, you're not going to be 200 pounds and, 23% body weight. So they do kind of, unless you're like just jacked. Like I said, I know guys that, the guy who bought my gym, he's in tremendous shape. He's probably like 15% body fat and he's obese by the BMI, right? Because he has so much muscle. So hopefully that's helpful. Let's see. All right, I gotta write your guys' names down so you guys get credit. Michelle, Laura, Amy, Christina. I think that's everybody. All right, if you guys have any questions about anything, it doesn't have to be about this topic. I love the chat. Just come off mute or drop them in the comments. And if you know guys don't have anything, we can I can let you guys go. But I'll give you a couple minutes if you wanna see if anybody has anything. If you jump off, I'll know you're done. Everybody knows what they have to do today. Everybody is certain. I know most of you have coaches, so um, sometimes getting like a different perspective is good too, or hearing it a different way. Like I'll hear like this conference we had, there was probably 10 different speakers. It's all pretty much the same stuff, just said differently. And you sometimes resonate with different people, but it's basically the same information, just presented differently. Some are more visual, some are more verbal, some are more like animated. Um, so some put you to sleep. I need to get my macros straight. Any suggestions? Well, what's the challenge? What do you mean you need to get your macros straight, Michelle? First of all, do you even know what your macros should be? That's the first question. And do you know how many, like what your macros are today? So that's really the first thing is knowing what your macros are today. If you know what they are today and your body is not responding, then we need to change them. If you don't know what they are, we're just guessing. So that would be the first step is knowing what your macros are. If you already know what they are and you're not losing weight, then we need to make changes. But there's no like I could never just tell you what your macros should be because you're like since you're with we're with VIP, like it can be so different. Like your macros change all the time. And if you're doing the same thing you did when you're in the program, it's probably not going to work anymore. Right? Our bodies adapt quickly. So um that would be a more one-on-one question, Michelle. It would be like anyone who tells you like, hey, eat this many calories and this much protein without knowing, where you're at in your journey, what you're currently doing. So for example, if you're eating 80 grams of protein a day and I tell you to eat 150 and you go from 80 to 150, you're going to have all kinds of digestive issues. So yeah, 150 might be the right number, but we got to get there first. That makes sense? So there's a process. Same thing with calories. If you're eating 1200 and I tell you you should be at 2200 and you go from 1200 to 2200, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to put on a shitload of weight, right? So we have to optimize your metabolism slowly. So giving numbers is actually doing you a disservice. So my suggestions are track first. And if you're already doing that, then everything we do is based off data. So if you're eating 2300 calories, you're not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit. Lower it a couple hundred. Eat 2100 for a couple weeks. If you're not losing weight, you're still not in a calorie deficit. Go to 1900. So it's just, but again, if you're at 1200 and you're not losing weight, you don't want to go lower. You got to optimize your metabolism, which takes time. All right. So if you want to message me more privately, Michelle, we can kind of have a more one-on-one discussion. Any other questions? You don't need to get your macros straight, Michelle. You choose to. You don't need to do anything. You don't even need to go to work. Probably lose your house and some things, but you don't need to. Just messing with you. All right, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for jumping on live. We will get you all your points, and Zach will be updating them the next couple days. But have an awesome day. Talk to you guys next week.